to the ARRL headquarters in the Hiram Percy Maxim Memorial Station in Newington, Connecticut, the motherland. There it is, W1AW, the Hiram Percy Maxim Memorial Station. It's, if you go to the league site, it'll tell you a little bit about it. I don't know if he's going to have it in here, but it's been rebuilt a couple of times, and they actually rebuilt it to look just like it did back then. They made, you know, the facade out front is all done like it looked way back when. You drive up there, as Stan mentioned, you're driving through the hills of Newington, Connecticut, and next thing you know, out pops this area with all these antennas and the headquarters and the station.
50 years ago when I joined, or 55 years ago or whatever, that was ARRL headquarters.
Yes,
building.
because I don't remember when they built the headquarters itself, but, and the headquarters is a lot fancy and new and everything.
That's about 20, 30 years now.
And actually, my own personal opinion, when we went to inside there, it was small. From my feeling. I don't know about, you know, it looks bigger on the outside than it does when we were inside, because
it was a house. It was a Cape Cod house.
Oh, there's those people. January 4th, 2019, Stan, W.A., he asked me for your call sign. Did you send it to him?
Yes, I did.
Okay. WA2NRV. He's not a director at large. Me, Steve, KB1YLQ, and Chad Hunt, KC2ZPX. Stan on the left with that Jets jacket, me in the middle, and Chad on the end. And I'm trying to think who took the picture. Was it one of the tour guys?
It was the tour guide.
Okay, the tour guide took
Steve,
it.
what was his name? I forget his name now.
Yeah. Because we got up there right at break for lunch, and we talked to the tour guy and the receptionist for a little bit, and then we went and had pizza and gyros and rice and
with
whatever.
the Rhode Island group.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we were with the Rhode Island group. There was two guys that were there from Rhode Island, which hopefully he goes into it in here, because that's part of the story, I hope. The adventure began with the 10 a.m. sharp departure from High Ridge Road Park and Ride. However, Stan, driving, had to make a quick drive-through stop at CVS.
I did.
I don't know. That's what he's saying.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember him being there at 10 a.m. either.
No, he wasn't.
Started.
Aha! He's joking, because there's Stan going into CVS.
That's not my car.
He's joking. I think he's trying with a levity.
Oh, somebody drove through the window there.
Levity. He's trying to be,
Yeah.
you know, joker.
Yes.
Now we get it. I don't know. Sorry, wrong picture. Okay. Purpose of the trip. Take advantage of close proximity to the national headquarters, tour the headquarters, visit the museum and learn the history and contributions of ham radio, view the vintage equipment and see how technology has advanced the hobby since its inception. Transmit from the historical W1AW. And when you do, you get a QSL card they give you, and they give you that beautiful certificate without the frame.
I was just gonna say.
Without the frame, but they give you that certificate. Joe, the operator, licensed operator up there, prints those out. And during our visit, we had the opportunity to meet Robert Bob B. Okay.
That was the one of the ones from Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah.
He was the one that was friends with the fellow that
Yeah,
had
it tells you right there. WH1YRC, who was mentored by Charlie J. Mellum, W1FH. When Charlie passed, Bob penned this tribute to him. When you walk into the headquarters, after you go through, like Disneyland, where all the merchandise is, you know, buy this, buy that, and all that stuff, you go through another doorway, and right there on the right-hand side, on the wall, is this display. And in the middle here is the QST article written by Bob. There's more information. There's his DX cards, and there's more awards. And to the left on a pedestal is like a photo album book with hundreds of QSL cards that Charlie got. All he did was operate. He got up, operated, and went to bed. Got up, operated, went to bed. That's all he did. But this is the display, and I don't know if they're going to say it, but Charlie has brick number 1. When you go into the headquarters, right there on the left, they have the memorial bricks that you can buy. He has brick number 1, W1FH, and then I think row 18,
Row 7.
row 7 is Bob's brick with his call sign. He's also a director or something, or East Coast office. He's got some kind of something he said.
Local club.
I thought he was like Betsy was, or one of them.
No.
No? We'll find out. There's the QST article about him, and he has the DX Century Club. This is the equipment inside the museum. When you walk through, some of the equipment they have on display that you can see. Stan probably operated half this stuff.
That wall.
Look at all that Heathkit stuff up there in the middle, and the Drakes and the Collins.
Now, is that in W1AW or is that in
No,
the
this is in the headquarters.
Okay.
The only thing in W1AW is
3 operating stations.
3 modern operating stations with amplifiers, and then they have a patch panel rack, like 4 rows, where they plug in the antennas. But this was actually towards the end of the museum, of the walk, and on the other side of this, I think, was the Faraday cage.
Yes.
And the lab where they work on the equipment.
Bob
Now,
Allison.
what's the tags on the radios? Does that just explain what radio it is?
Yeah.
Or is that, or who it came
It
from?
might be donations, but it's also said who it was, and identifying what it is.
Okay.
The problem is, most of them I have used at one time or another. It was shocking.
In the on-site ham shack where donated equipment, if salvageable, is repaired, they also prepare equipment for disaster relief and recovery. This was actually in the workshop area behind that wall of vintage equipment where they actually do repairs and stuff. Men gotta eat. Jad loves to eat. He also loves to talk, but he loves to eat too. And they had pretty good food.
They did.
Yeah. Next stop, ham radio in Nirvana. Welcome to W1AW. And then you go in there, there's a plaque to Hiram, and they have his desk when you on the right, and they have old boat anchor that was his, and they only let certain people. You got to know what you're doing to be able to operate it.
I had that station also. 303 and the Johnson,
Matchbox and all that?
no, the Johnson 2, Viking 2. He probably has a picture of it.
There it is. But no, that's
No,
on
that's
the,
not it.
that's not the desk either, right?
No,
That's on the other side.
yep.
Desk, furniture, and some equipment donated from Hiram Maxim's estate. More vintage equipment.
That was a
Did you operate that one too?
No,
Oh, that's older than you?
that's Spark Gap. I can't operate that because of my defibrillator.
Yeah. They let us behind the rope after showing proper credentials. You have to have your license. And our fearless leader jumps into the seat, knocking me over. Oh crap. I tried to, he's mic shy. I was trying to get him on the air and he didn't really want to. But
We did get him on.
I don't think,
He made one contact.
is that the room we were in?
Yes,
All right, because then the radio and the amp is this way.
On the left.
Because I don't,
yeah.
they got a logging program and all this, everything's right there. You could rotor to move the antenna, but the Rhode Island people were operating another radio, so we couldn't really move the antenna till they left.
The 40 meter and the 20 meter beams were on the same rotator, same tower. So we couldn't move it initially because the Rhode Island group was using 40 meters on the same tower. We had to wait until they left before we shifted the antenna.
And there I am, scanning the dials, and who's that in the back?
What kind of, what,
That was Bob.
what
Bob
trans,
Allison?
what
No,
do they have?
from Rhode Island.
Oh, okay,
Bob Allison was the one in the picture doing the service work.
okay.
What kind of a transceiver was that?
Yaesu, FT, you know, they're all modern rigs.
1,000, I believe.
And the amp is just to the right here, and like I said, you just really just got to type in a few, you know, the call sign and hit a enter key and it all. Oh, there's that Stan guy again. Here I am still operating. Stan leans in for moral support and suggests some frequencies to try. Actually, we didn't have the greatest luck when we were there.
The band was dead, but we did work a few.
Yes. Otherwise, you don't get you get the thing checked if you does that say operate and visited on yours?
You have the option.
Yeah.
You take checks off either operated or visited.
But I'm trying to see if that card right by the mic boom is the BCG1 card, because they have the BCG1 card from Clark in Greenwich, which was the transmission from
England to Greenwich.
yeah, right there.
On Round Hill Road.
Yep.
No, North Street.
North Street, excuse me, North Street.
Because the league went there and
Couple
did the
years
whole operating. They went to the Greenwich Country Day School.
Yeah.
We set up in there. My friend Rob, N1ALF, they used his Johnson Matchbox, and his dipole was strung up there, and they operated it from there.
Yeah, that's my street. I went over there too when they were doing this.
Did you go in?
A year or two ago.
When
And they were at Country Day.
Yeah.
but did you go in when they were operating?
Yeah, I popped in there, yeah.
Did you see? Introduce yourself to Clark or Rob if they're there.
I spoke to
BC1G,
couple people,
BC, yeah,
I don't know.
BC1G,
I'm bad at
CG or
names.
something like that, which is, I think, isn't that the guy who made the transmissions call sign?
I don't know, B something on it.
Yeah. And Rob, N1LALF, who lives right there on where they found the body in the suitcase.
That's nice. That's a nice reference.
She was missing from New Rochelle. Prior to me getting behind the mic, I yelled to engineering, "Scotty, we need more power." Oh, that's on the other side.
Yeah, wow.
That's a patch.
That's the patch panel where they pull the antennas, and then they got the antenna switches, and they actually have,
The transmitters there are what they use when they're sending out the messages, the monthly, weekly, or daily messages.
yeah, there's a couple of amps on the bottom, but if you notice on the shelf there are the new Icon 7300s. You know, the really brand new fancy ones that are just sitting there. Alright, aerial view of W1AW. There's the antenna layout. Satellite towers, north tower, central tower. They have an antenna running right over the headquarters and right, you know, dipoles strung all over the place. And then, while we were there, they said they were 6 meter?
6 meter.
They had just done a 6 meter, but every time they transmit, it set off the burglar alarm. So they were going to somehow hook it up to set off the fire alarm at the league instead of setting off.
They were going to move the 6 meter antenna to get it away, hopefully get it further away, so they wouldn't have the interference.
The moment I have been waiting for since my first CB radio from Service Merchandise in Hartsdale, New York. Where's that? 1986. There he is. Our buddy Chad had several conversations with memorable contacts in Arizona and California. He said, "Take my picture, let me get out of here." He is Mike Shy. And there's his certificate that he operated W1AW, the ARRL headquarters station. And there it is, KC2ZPX signing off, 73s, and thank you, good night.
Now that's the headquarters building. And where that building stands now, and it's a big building, where that stands now, years ago, they had the rhombic antenna taking up that space.
When you go into the headquarters, they will take you through all the different rooms, and they take you through where they publish all the articles, where they do the podcasts. We met everybody there. Stan annoyed the VE lady.
Maria actually came down. They were redoing the VE section. They were putting in cubicles instead of the large desks they had where everybody was open. So they were putting in cubicles so we couldn't get in there. But Maria came down. She brought a gift for me. But she talked to us a little bit about the VE sessions and the fact that she appreciates what we do as a club for the providing the VE sessions, and suggested that we do more, and also that we run classes so to get more hams in and more VE sessions.
When you walk through headquarters, like I said, they have the displays, and then they show you where we looked at
The wolf hong.
the what?
Wolf hong. You don't remember that?
No, that one.
Okay.
Because I got in my mind the Pelican cases, the radios. And they didn't skimp because they had Kenwood 480 HXs, 200 watt, $1,000 radios that they put into the Pelican cases with the antennas and all the other assorted, power supplies and so forth. And they put them in these Pelican cases, and then they deploy them like they deployed them to Puerto Rico for this, there's a name they call it, but they send out these relief kits to disaster sites. We saw those. We saw the guys who prepare them. we talked to I think the disaster service guy
Yes,
who
we
writes the
did.
articles.
Yes.
Um,
And we also spent quite a bit of time with Steve Ford.
Yep. We saw, it's not a storyboard, Chad knew what it was,
It is a storyboard,
where they
as they present the
As they-
programs.
it was all
As they
empty,
put it together.
but each page gets put up on the storyboard as they publish the magazine with the articles, the ads, and they had like, what, 3 or 4 rows that they just keep putting up each day.
As they're writing them, they put them up.
So it was quite an interesting, like I said, we saw over where they test the equipment. Like I said, they had the Faraday cage where no signals get out and they test the equipment and everything.
That's where Bob Allison does all the ones you see in QST when they do a test and they have a write-up on it. That's where he does it.
And then,
He's
like
got
I
all
said,
the
we saw
equipment in there.
where Joe Hollis does the podcast and Doctor is in stuff. Then they're doing a new podcast that isn't out yet, or it might be out now, but it was supposed to be coming out.
Yes.
He was the only one with a door in his office that goes outside. Everybody else just had cubicles.
That was Steve.
That was Steve Ford?
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember he had that room when he
Right, so he could escape.
And I think that's about it. Any questions? Hopefully, maybe not next year, but this year during the summer or whatever. They're only open Monday through Friday, unfortunately, not on weekends.
Now, you said the band was dead when you were there. What band were you using?
20 meters?
Yeah, we were on 20.
20?
40 was good, 20 was dead. I mean, we worked guys, but it was really
Was
dead.
that about 1 o'clock or something, I'm guessing?
Yeah, about 2
No,
o'clock.
it was later,
About 2.
because they went to lunch at 12, then we toured. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
towards
that's
the end.
that's about peak for 20 meters for this time of year.
Yeah. Well, the bands had really been down.
Yeah.
We heard some church groups or something. They were
Really?
like church nets or something. There was,
Yeah, they're on there.
so,
The restaurant, is it a Greek restaurant?
yeah,
Where was it from? Where were
right
they
across the
from?
street.
Down the street.
Where were they from in Greece?
We don't know that. But they were very nice, and you would think that they might not be, because I'm sure they get a lot of people who come up there to visit, go there for lunch, and they were very nice to everybody, and plenty of food on the plates, and
And tasty.
yes, it was very good.
What is John name? I mean, what's his name?
And not only that,
What's his
but
name?
gas up there is very inexpensive compared to down here.
Why is that? Really?
Yeah.
It's
It
closer
was,
to the
uh,
wells, John.
It was $2.30 a gallon up there and
These are
$2.58
just
down there.
some cards Stan brought, and that Stan brought these cards in to show what
You can pass them around.
it looks like outside, and there's a little blog and what the memorial station looks like. Actually, they just, I didn't hear them on the air, but the AM rally, which was just this past weekend, they were supposedly transmitting right from the headquarters for the AM rally. All the big shots were there transmitting on the AM.
And there was a club that came in for Winter Field Day. And they let them operate Winter Field Day with a provision that they operated throughout the 24 hours. They had to have people come in and do 4-hour shifts to go through the 24 hours for Winter Field Day there.
All right, ready, Ernest?